We're back into Tasmania's remote temperate rainforests on the hunt for the next big gold deposit. I've had a few over the past few years, but one thing about deposits like this is they are rare and unique, and once found only last a few days or weeks before it's time to pack up camp and go in search of new prospects. I'm currently in the transitional stage hunting down the next location, and I'll be targeting some of the smaller creeks with good amounts of rainfall providing adequate water to snipe. Prospecting has taken me to some of the most incredible places I could never have imagined. Remote areas that only a handful of people would have ever seen in history. Unnamed waterfalls, gorges and rainforests with trees dating back to over 3,000 years ago. That thing is massive. Today's video is another one of these adventures, and I'm glad that I can bring these places to life for all to experience. I've just landed myself on the creek, starting out for the day. Beautiful crystal clear water creek that I'm looking forward to exploring. Today's mission will just be scouting out as much of the creek as possible. When I first come to creeks, I'll shoot right along them and just look for bedrock and good dropout points for any gold. Usually if it's a gold bearing creek, that's the best way that I'll find gold on those creeks. So we'll get to work, we'll start heading upstream and see what this beautiful little creek brings for the day. Okay, looks like we might be straight into bedrock, which is good, and this would also be a really good catchment, so I'm actually surprised to see bedrock this far down. Look up here too, we've got a beautiful little ledge on an inside bend. That there could be a jackpot. See this little shelf running down there, little ledge, and the material up in there could be holding gold. It's time to jump in. Should have mentioned as well, the old timers found gold here, so it is a gold bearing creek. It's just whether Levi can find it. Fingers crossed. This first spot that I've dropped in, as mentioned earlier, is the perfect drop-off point. Underneath the ledge was perfect crevices, and I have to admit I was expecting to see gold. I've scratched out a nail, which is a good sign because it means no one's worked this spot. Righto, I've got to admit, I am surprised I haven't spotted any gold yet. I've worked in behind this ledge here, which had a beautiful little crevice down under it. And then down through the center, there was another crevice running down that way. And yeah, still got nothing. So if there's going to be gold, we're going to have to get further upstream. Oh, it's a real shame actually that this didn't have gold, because there's so many good drop-off points for it to get caught. Ledges like this, but I've tested it pretty heavily back there and just nothing in it. Awesome bedrock. Certainly another beautiful creek though. Let's hope it's got some gold. So cool, all these big ferns overhanging the creek and there's big boulders in the middle. An awesome spot. Just noticed something up on the bank. It kind of looks like old workings or something up here. Oh no, it's just a little gully that runs through, a little creek, feeds it. Just this area here sort of caught my attention. This second little pool that I jumped into, the bedrock was quite flat, but I gave it a pretty good scout over just to make sure there wasn't any cracks or crevices hiding inside. Unfortunately, it was all much the same, so I continued my mission upstream. It's such an awesome spot. Beautiful. Bedrock here might be worth having a look, so I'll jump in here. Okay, so nothing under that little waterfall either. That's a sign that when we do find gold upstream, it's going to be bigger. Chunky. But you just never know. Little steps. Makes life easy. Natural steps. Look at that. Going through the bush to cut out some of the inside bends. It'll save us a bit of time. We've got a lot of ground to cover, and I'm not on the gold down this far, so we'll try and shoot upstream a bit quicker and see if we can land ourselves on something. And look at this place. It's like the Garden of Eden, man. It's so untouched and pristine. This huge big pile of rocks here. Just talking about untouched, I might have found some old workings. Don't think so. It's just where the creek shifted. There we go, a bit of bedrock starting to show. A few crevices in through there that need testing out. And then within a few seconds of working above this waterfall, the magic began to take place. We got gold, baby. It's only really fine, but it's a good start. The geology in this creek is much different to other areas that I work, and the gravel in these crevices packed in much tighter than what I'm used to. Seems to be lots of it. I need to grab my smaller crevice and hook. They're really tight little cracks. Some of these pieces were difficult to get out because the crevices themselves were smaller than the tip of the snuffer bottle. I was finding plenty of smaller gold, but I was curious to see whether a larger crevice like this one would hold perhaps larger, thicker gold. Be interested to see what a larger crevice is holding. I was also able to break away a larger piece of bedrock, and I was excited to see what might be behind it. I found one piece, but would there be more? And sure enough, a slightly larger piece. That piece is a bit bigger. It's a good sign. Okay, so we're on the gold. It's super fine, a lot of it, and I'm noticing that it's not capturing in the bigger cracks. You only find it in the really hairline sort of cracks, which is unusual. There was one good flake, it was a good size, but I think we need to be looking for something bigger. It is a sign that there's gold in here, so as we get further up, hopefully the gold gets a little bit bigger. I don't know how many times I've been in this situation. It's a familiar feeling, finding myself deep out there in nature, wondering whether this small show of colour would amount to anything. The thing is, it can easily go either way, but one thing's for sure, I was on a mission to find out. Oh yeah. Wow. There's been so many times I've thought of quitting on these adventures. Quitting filming and doing YouTube. But then when I stumble across unexpected locations like this, I suddenly realise that I'm the luckiest son of a gun on the planet, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be. think I'm gonna have to go up and around. Got me work cut out for me now. Just gonna have to climb up and around that one. Too big. Bit of a hectic old hill too, slippery old rocks. If I can get up the top there, I'll be able to get across. Right up on top now. Oh, so slippery. It'd be silly of me not to jump in under this little pool here. Bit overgrown in this section. Oh dear, it's got to be old workings, old diggings, heaped up. Found some diggings, it's a good sign. It's all been taken out of that section there. What else is here? Not much. This here looks like a whole heap of workings as well. Heaped up. Right up this gully and dug out. Cool old blackwood tree. All twisted up in the top. Right, I've just come to this point on the creek where I'm quite elevated. The creek's right down there, maybe 4 or 5 meters. And up here on the ridge, there looks to me what could be a water race. Very hard to make out, but it runs straight up through here. Yeah, definitely perfectly cut out all the way through, about maybe half a metre wide, 500 or 600 mils wide, and it runs straight through there. So they've definitely done some work here. Keeps continuing on right through. There's a distinct line right through there, runs right around here. They've picked up water from the creek maybe to work on one of the feeders further downstream. They've picked up water just down over there. It's crazy the things you find out here, all the history. This is a beautiful little waterfall, and the water's been picked up just above it and directed down that way. Feeling pretty deep down in it now, looking up at those hills. Way out there. Little crack in the bedrock, little crevice running right across, so I'll have a quick go at that. Certainly pushing upstream now. Okay, we've got some more waterfalls and bedrock. Nice crack in there. It was a turbulent mess down there, but it didn't take long and some nature's treasure arrived. Alright, we found a thicker piece. With the strong flow of the water, I was having all sorts of trouble trying to get this piece up the snuffer bottle. Another bit, decent size too. So there are a few thicker little bits that kept me hungry, but I was expecting to see more in this crevice. So a couple of chunkier little bits there, which was good, but then it's dried up on me again. So we're on the move, hunting down the next little spot. Bedrock looks like the bottom of the ocean. Sandy bottom. Could be. Look at this geology. Really cool. They're only about 5 mil thick, each of those sheets. Slate. Some compressed earth if ever. Bit of sunshine poking down through the valley. Still going. Travelled quite a distance from that last bit of gold, and no bedrock, or not workable bedrock anyway. Almost looks man-made. Look how rectangular that is, like a big lump of steel. Another one there. Comes in rectangular shapes. Okay, my creek's well and truly starting to narrow up, and I'm losing my water. So I don't know, looking a bit grim at this point, but we'll finish it off. The water's getting quite silty up the top end, which is kind of the opposite to what I would have expected. I guess the little feeders that extend the flow, probably putting clear water in. And then I jumped in this small pool to have one final attempt at seeing if I could bring up my tally for the day. This bedrock was so old and decomposed that a lot of it had turned to clay. One thing I've learnt over the years is that gold gets trapped on clay. okay. I just found a few little flakes, but yeah, still very, very fine gold. And we're running out of creek right up the top end now. Sniping will get a bit tricky soon. Getting tight. I continued on for a further 500 metres or so, at which point I decided to make the track overland, back to my vehicle and back to civilization. Let's see if we got any gold. Very little. There it is. Huge amounts of alluvial gold. Was it worth it? Yeah, it's always worth it, getting out there and getting in nature, as I've mentioned. Would I go back? Probably not to that one. Not if I was chasing gold. I might go back for those waterfalls, but yeah, not gold. There's plenty of places that I can explore, and there's also plenty of other places that I've found good gold deposits and could go back and beat that tally any day. So that one's off the list. It's done, dusted. Awesome experience, and I love every trip. I guess it's the thrill of the chase for me more than anything, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Alright, get it all out on the paper. It always looks good up close with that lens. Got some beautiful colour about it, this gold, that luster. You can get a bit of an idea of size with the tip of the pen there. I'm not going to weigh it today. I'm going to leave that up to your imagination. Drop your guesses in if you'd like. I hope you have enjoyed it today. Remember, hitting that like button really helps me out. Always love hearing your comments, so drop some comments below. And if you could share it about, that also helps with the performance of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you all next time.